Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Respected friends, welcome you all with all gratitudes for giving this great occasion opportunity to me, as well as congratulations to you that you are able to maintain that regularity in listening to Upanishads. Both of us have the next jobs to do are doing the same things more seriously, more sincerely, more involvedly. What we are doing is the best. This best to be done in a best manner to get the best of the results and blessings. That should be our next step. We are on a beautiful right track, the best of the tracks. For whatever the punya we have done, prarthana we have done, purusharthas we have done, prayers we have done, whatever, all of that brought us here. Recognize the sanctity, sacredness, divinity of what we are doing, and with undeterred determination, being on this path, intensify what is already done, beautify what we are already doing. That is what should be our next target. May our efforts, our invocation of divine grace help us in this regard. Friends, Shwethashwathara Upanishad, fourth chapter, after telling us through those two mantras, 6 and 7, Jiva, Bandhana, Sadhana, Mukti. Now to our question, where from the entire world has come? The answer given will be the entire world is expression of that divine Lord only, manifestation of that divine Lord only. But does that Lord change himself to become like this? No. He remaining as he is with his Shakti, he himself appears as this world, and that way when you ask the question that what is the material and immanent cause or the efficient cause of this world, that stands out to be that divine Lord only. This is the Siddhanta which we have to further realize. After Shuddha Atma Anubhuti, Sarvatmya Bhava we have to get. There are some obstacles or some inabilities in us to grasp and accept. Remember, throughout life, these are the two difficulties to all human beings. One is not able to understand, second, even able to understand, not able to accept. If these two obstacles in spirituality we can transcend, replace not able to understand with understanding, replacing the non acceptance with acceptance, we are changing our entire life from bondage towards moksha. That topic we'll study today by God's grace. Before that, our Veda Parayanam, common sense thought, Mangalacharana Shloka with Sankalpa, Upanishad Mantra Ucharana. So, let this 1 hour be a great tapasya for us, wherein physically we are seated at one place, that is Sharirik Tapasya. Indriyas, we are trying to utilize our ears to listen, eyes to look at the book, chant the mantras with mouth wherever required. Thus, the tapasya of Indriyas. The Mano tapasya is bringing that aspect of loving and liking this particular duty. The intellectual tapasya is trying to intellectually analyze, comprehend, understand what is being said. The tapasya of the Vasanamaya kosha is trying to put this knowledge into that Vasanamaya kosha, samskara kosha. Tapasya at the ego is feeling at the time of listening, understanding only that let me identify with this self, let me reject my identity with the upadhi. That thought, that willingness, that desire is the tapasya at ego level. Let us do all that. Starting with Veda Parayanam, Rigvedaha, Ashtama Mandalam, 12th Anuvaka. ॐ अथ वेदपारायणं ऋग्वेदः अष्टममण्डलं द्वादशोऽनुवाकः ॐ य इन्द्रसोमपाथमो मदशविष्ठचेतति येनाहं सिन्यत्रिणन्तमीमहे येनादशग्वमध्रिगुं वेपयन्तं स्वर्नरं येनासमुद्रमाविधातमीमहे येन सिन्धुं महीरपोरथा आगम् इव प्रचोदयः पन्थामृतस्य यातवेतमीमहे इमं स्तोममभिष्टये घृतन्नपूतमद्रिवः येनानुसद्य ओजसा ववक्षिथ इमं जुषस्वगिर्वणः समुद्र इव पिन्वते इन्द्रविश्वाभिरूतिभिर्ववक्षीथ यो नो देवः परावतः सखित्वनायमामहे दिवो न वृष्टिं प्रतयन्ववक्षिथ ववक्षुरस्य केतवो उत वज्रो गभस्त्योः यत्सूर्यो न रोदसी अवर्धयत् यदि प्रवृद्धसत्पते सहस्रं महिषा अघः आदित्त इन्द्रियं महि प्रवावृधे इन्द्रः सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिर्न्यर्शसानमोषते अग्निर्वने वसा सहिः प्रवावृधे इयं तरुत्वियावती धीतिरेति न मीयसि सपर्यन्ते पुरुप्रियामिमीत इत गर्भो यज्ञस्य देवयुः क्रतुं पुनीत आनुषक स्तोमैरिन्द्रस्य वावृधे मिमीत इत स निर्मित्रस्य पप्रथ इन्द्रः सोमस्य पीतये प्राचीवाशीव सुन्वते मिमीत इत यं विप्रा उक्तवाः सोऽभि प्रमन्दुरायवः घृतं न पिप्य आसन् यत् उत स्वराजे अदितिस्तोममिन्द्राय जीजनत कुरु प्रशस्तमूतय ऋतस्य यत् अभिवह्नय ऊतयेनूशत प्रशस्तये न देवविव्रता हरिऋतस्य यत् यत्सोममिन्द्रविष्णवे यद्वागत्रित आप्त्ये यद्वा मरुत्सु मन्दसे समिन्दुभिः यद्वा शक्रपरावति समुद्रे अतिमन्दसे अस्माकमित्सु तेरणासमिन्दुभिः यद्वासि सुन्वतो वृधो यजमानस्य सत्पते उक्ते वायस्य रण्यसि समिन्दुभिः देवं देवं वो वस इन्द्रमिन्द्रं गृणीषणि अधा यज्ञाय तुर्वणे व्यानशुः यज्ञेभिर्यज्ञवाह संसोमेभिः सोमपातमम् होत्राभिरिन्द्रं वावृधुर्व्यावशुः व्यानशुः महीरस्य प्रणीतयः पूर्वे ऋतः प्रशस्तयः विश्वावसूनि दाशुषे व्यानशुः इन्द्रं वृत्राय हन्तवे देवासो दधिरे पुरः इन्द्रं वाणीरनोषथा समोजसे महान्तं महिना वयं स्तोमेभिर्हवनः श्रुतम् अर्कैरभिप्रणो नुमः समोजसे नयं विविक्तो रोदसीनान्तरिक्षाणि वज्रिणम् अमादिदस्य तित्विषे समोजसः यदिन्द्रपृतनाज्ये देवास्त्वादधिरे पुरः आदित्ये हर्यता हरिपवक्षतुः यदा वृत्रं नदीवृत्तं शवसा वज्रिन्नवधीः आदित्ये हर्यथा हरिव वक्षतुः यदा ते विष्णुरोजसा त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे आदित्ये हर्यता हरिव वक्षतुः यदा ते हर्यता हरिवा वृधा ते दिवे दिवे आदित्ये विश्वा भुवनानि येमिरे यदा ते मारुतिर्विशस्तुभ्यमिन्द्रनियेमिरे आदित्ये विश्वा भुवनानि येमिरे यदा सूर्यममुं दिवि शुक्रं ज्योतिरधारयः अमिं पदेवपि प्रतीं प्राध्वरे यदस्य धामनि प्रिये समीचीनासो अस्वरन्न नाभायज्ञस्य तोहना प्राध्वरे सुवीर्यं स्वश्व्यं सुगव्यमिन्द्रदध्रिनः कोतेव पूर्वचित्तये प्राध्वरे. That is enough today. One mantra. It is very big. So we can stop it here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Krishna Vasudeva. Yes, friends, in our today's common sense thought, what we will discuss is, where is it? Narayana. A human being for his evolution, what's necessarily required to him. Therefore, the Lord creates from outside, creates from inside, is called as the worry, the tension, the anxiety. I know that worry, whether it is for safety or security, whether it is for survival, whether it is for looking at others and feeling jealous and wanting oneself to improve, that worry can become the springboard for initiatives of all sorts, for putting efforts to reach to higher. Only thing is that worry should not become the cause of depletion, cause of what we call depression and falling down, or that worry should not become the cause of entering to the wrong channels of life. If that worry instills in us, infuses in us, creates in us the positive feelings of wanting to do, wanting to achieve, then that's a very good worry. Point one. Point two, therefore, just like the worldly people are worried about the worldly things, its money, its position, its possession, they're all worried about it. So many things, not one, not two. And out of that worry, they may come out with ideas and plans to work out to reach to those sought after goals. Exactly like that, you and I, the spiritual seekers, should have the spiritual worries. Out of that worries, that anxieties, only there is a chance always for us to think about, understand about, and do about and reach about. And if that minimum worry, anxiety is not there, moment by moment we will take for granted and just waste our life for the very paltry things of the life, of the world. We will waste our life for them. Here is what that worry helps us. Therefore, Lord corners the sadhakas or the bhaktas in such a manner that he is worried so much for such a long time, frustrated, made miserable. Out of all that worries, frustrations, miseries, slowly the light starts coming. The light of thinking, the light of understanding. Then slowly, slowly, that thinking, understanding converts The worry to planning, the worry to working according to the planning, and then worries to achievement. Therefore, we have to have that worry. Like what? Like yesterday, 15th May 2025, gone away without us doing any of the substantial sadhanas of any sort. Or even if they were done, very minimum are done. Or more than that, how ignorant we were, how foolish we were in doing or involving in those things which were not only not called as sadhanas, but they were only the creators and strengtheners of samsara. How could I do that? This is the worry. How foolish I was, how stupid I was, especially when I am given all the freedom with myself, all the resources are given to me. How could I do like that? How could I live or waste my yesterday's day, my 1 week last, my last 1 year, or my those few years from where I stopped working in the world in any of the professions. 1 साल हो 2 साल हो कोई कोई लोग 10 साल हो गए withdrawn from the active professions, retired from the offices, retired from the businesses, children have taken over that, or retired from too many obligations of bringing up children, getting them married, settled. ये सब खत्म होके 20 साल हो गए in some people's life. 10 साल हो गए in some people's life. What have we done substantially in those 10 years? And very clear thinking. There's no justification nor any feeling regret, guilt. Simple thing. What do we stand today at in our inner spiritual evolution? That's a parameter enough for us to understand whether we have done or not. If we have done, our situation would have been highly evolutionary, our state of being today. अगर नहीं है, obviously that means we have not done. No, not the quantity of time spent or quantity of activities done. But where do you stand today? That's the parameter. है कि नहीं कि मैं कितना दूर चला हूँ, that's no argument. Where do you stand now? Then what point you started from? Simple calculation, you will know whether you walked or not. Where was I 10, 20 years back? Where am I in my all spiritual understandings and practices? That determines whether I have done substantially or not. And this thinking is not to answer to anyone, to justify, not to justify anything. It is for our own sake. Right? So we have to be worried, we have to be anxious. Out of that worry and anxiousness should come out the deep seriousness, deep sincerity, deep commitment. And then that worry, that anxiousness is absolutely positively utilized. The two best examples, one is that of Parikshit ji. He was worried, anxious that 7 दिन में मुझे जाना पड़ेगा. But has he not converted it into, those 7 days only? Such type of activities by which once for all he got moksha. The second best example is Arjuna himself. And that's why the first chapter of Arjuna Gita is, Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. That cornering of Arjuna done by Krishna deliberately. So that Arjuna from that Vishada, because he has got some good samskaras earlier, a positive personality in general, from that Vishada, he will convert himself to be a yogi by knowing and doing yoga. So Arjuna entered into Vishada, converted it into yoga. That's called Arjuna Vishada Yoga first chapter. See, those worries are the only ones which put us on the toes. If that worry is not there, like children nowadays, no worry at all because, like buffaloes, they are fed by the parents. That's why he has no value for money, no value for the time, He doesn't feel the need of working hard because no tension, no worry, isn't it? But in our childhood days, they worry for everything. That's why we were on the toes. Worry for water. 4 दिन में एक ही बार पानी आता था. The worry at that time, run, stand in line, 4 o'clock. सुबह 4 बजे खड़े थे हम पानी के. You know all those days. 6 बजे पानी आता है. So unless the worries are there, the mediocre and lower leveled sadhakas cannot come out of their nonsenses and utilize their resources for the positive, isn't it? Now the worries, so many. The worry one, I have not developed my Daiva Bhakti, nor I am understanding Daiva, nor I am understanding Bhakti, nor I am understanding the Bhakta Lakshanas, not I am doing anything. Should we not be worried about it? Then from that worry, then utilize time for that. The worry that I have not got that deep Guru Bhakti, that I am totally surrendered to Him, and from Him, through the books and through in my meditation, I am getting continuous instructions and I know that they are my Guru's teachings. This state I have not reached. Should we not worry? Isn't it? If there is no worry, it is absolutely we are relaxed, okay type. If just हाँ ठीक है वो कर तो रहा हूँ ना थोड़ा थोड़ा आपके लिए तो आ रहे हैं क्लास में स्वामी जी हम आ रहे हैं इसलिए आपका कल्याण होता है ये आप ही तो बताए 10 मिनट पहले that type of funny thing we have to be aware of in us and we have to come out of all such thousands of nonsense which we have, isn't it? That immaturity, the childishness, yeah, bakwas hai sir. We have to come out of that if at all they are there. Then the third one, the worry about which is the Upanishad we have thoroughly studied, in which through which Upanishad, the Spashta Rupena, the Brahma Tattva Siddhanta Jnana has come to us. है ना स्पष्ट रूपेण जीव ब्रह्म ऐक्यता why and how did we understand them? Then we are at vague level only. Should we not worry about it? Should not be concerned about it, isn't it? Like at home, if the husband is not concerned about the essential goods that are required for maintaining the house, the groceries, etc., how worried the wife will be. बेचारे दुखी हो जाती हो. He is wasting the money here and there. चावल नहीं है मदर, दाल नहीं है. दाल तो देखकर बहुत ही दिन हो गए. चावल बस उसी से. Those were the days, 80s, 70s में. Very worry that children are not given the school fees, tuition fees नहीं भरे time पे postpone करते जा रहे. That school teacher or principal is scolding. कल fees नहीं लाए तो school मत आना. We have seen all of that. The grocery shop fellow says, already loan liya, you pay that, then only any new thing is given. Worries they used to have for everything, even for survival. From that only, the people started studying and working low in through 3 generations. You can see all have become sufficient in their purchasing capacity. Qualitative life people are living. Even the so-called laborers also. They are for looking sake a laborer. They are also earning aram se 800 rupees per day. Huh? And that's required also nowadays. In the same way, should we not worry about this? Is it not? Should we not worry that day by day our life is oozing away? One day gone means one day we have neared to complete this opportunity of this human life. आगे का भगवान जाने फिलहाल की बात. If we are not worried, then when will we come out of our laziness? If we are not worried, then how will we come out of our distractions? If we are not worried, when will we become deep thinkers to exactly know what to achieve and know what to do, and most importantly, know how to do? In that how to do, as we saw yesterday, very thoroughly, clearly knowing what are the ways of life I am living throughout the day which are contradictory to my own spiritual sadhanas, practices, and evolutions. A worried person only thinks कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूं दिन भर जिससे मैं स्पिरिचुअल नहीं बन रहा हूं, मेरा साधना नहीं हो पा रहा है. And the other person is able to do, I am not able to do. What's it? See, if this inner deep inquiry one doesn't do from within, how can one recognize, diagnose one's problems? In general, what are the problems for sadhakas? The Guru and Shastra speaks. But out of those general speeches or thoughts, particularly, what is that troubling me? What is that in me, the negativity? I have to recognize, na? Whether it is laziness, tamoguna because of overeating, it can be anything. Whether it is making my mind dull-witted because of excess of bhoga asaktis, or whether it is too much of worry, anxiety in the mind because of my relation with the people and trying to make the impossible possible. That people should love me, trust me, should be with me is a bakwas. I must know that these are the unwanted things, never ending things. Unwanted as well as never ending. Unwanted, still you are pursuing, you got it, but it doesn't end. More and more wants will come. So this is how my day is spent. Valuable day, precious day for such a paltry things, meaningless things. Then from each of those things, first I note down what are necessary for me. अब जीने के लिए खाना चाहिए, टिकड. How much time, how much food, how. जीने के लिए नहाना चाहिए, टिकड. How much time. जीने के लिए रेस्ट चाहिए, बस. For this time I have to give. The entire rest time, remaining time, I must learn to utilize. In trying to do so, the earlier habits of the Rajoguna, Tamoguna, they try to poke, they try to disturb. Isn't it? They have to be understood. They have to be very delicately, intensely, intelligently, have to be conquered, to be overpowered. जो साधना कर रहे हैं उनको ऐसा पता होता. But all these are the outcomes after we worry about key. We are doing nothing, I am doing nothing, I am reaching nowhere. So that should be the worry. The Daiva Bhakti Nasti, Guru Bhakti Nasti, Shastra Jnana Nasti. And therefore, where is the deep sadhana of Nididhyasana? Where is the deep sadhana of Chintana? Where is the deep sadhana of the Manana? Did I try even once to develop that Sakshi Bhava? कर ही नहीं रहा हूं, सिद्धांत तो सुन चुका हूं और भूल भी गया. किताब से ले लिया, वापस किताब में रख दिया. Worries. Isn't it? Isn't it the worry at the level of the mind? अरे still my mind is in such a विक्षेप स्थिति, है ना. एकाग्र करना है उसको, उस एकाग्र में स्थिति लाना है. फदर तत्र स्थितो यत्न अभ्यास सतु दीर्घ काल नैरंतर्य सत्कार आसेवित दृढ़ भूमि. अरे ये नॉलेज को मैं वैल्यू नहीं कर रहा हूँ. इफ आई डोंट वैल्यू द नॉलेज विच इज टू बी डन और प्रैक्टिस, हाउ विल आई डू? Isn't it? The मन के लेवल का वरी कि still it is nidrana, vikshipta. And the whole worry is same old habits and justifying them. Then not pausing to think whether it is required or not. Not at all putting effort to drop some of the nonsenses. Not at all putting efforts to take up some higher things. See the laziness in me, see the tamoguna, and see the intellect's justification. सेज कि मैं ओल्ड हो गया हूँ, मैं तबीयत ठीक नहीं है, मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ. अरे साधना करते हुए शरीर छोड़े, दैट्स बेटर देन जस्टिफाइंगली कंटिन्यूइंग टू बी संसारी इवन एट दैट हायर एंड बिगर एजेस. 65 के बाद वी कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू बी अ संसार. We anyway count the days after that. Let us count them while doing sadhana fully. बट स्टिल और एक दिन और एक महीना और एक एक्टिविटी और एक प्रोग्राम और एक बंदा और एक इंडल्जेंस our party. This is how we are cheated by the mind. Today it will come, I think, in तुलसी रामायण कथा राम कथा में कहीं आएगा ये टॉपिक how we procrastinate. So if we are not at all worried, then how will we think? If we don't think, how do we understand? If we don't understand, how will we change ourselves in theory and in conviction and practice? If we don't change our lifestyle, how can we evolve to avoid the worries once for all? There's no worry at all for us of anything. If sometimes it comes, we convert it into fear, we convert into nervousness, something, etc. No, we should make use of that worry into a challenge, into a positive right thinking. And then those thoughts that I must do, that I will do, that I can do. So here now I am doing. What can stop me? है ना? All these vasanas, the habits, the maya, उसका अलग डिस्कशन है, वो करो समझो. So what? Still your present purushartha samartha is in your hands. Recognize it. See, in those 6 chapters, in more than 400 slokas in Yoga Vasishta Maharamayana, in the second Mumuksha Vyavahara Prakarana, how much Vasishta ji taught Rama about the present Purushartha, Purushakara. How exhaustive, how detailed, how inspiring were those topics. No difference between those who attended class, not attended, and even the one who spoke. कुछ याद ही नहीं है. We have at our hands at present, the Purushartha Samartha. That has to be implemented and intensified. एक minute, दो minute, तीन minute. Isn't it? Anything like Surya Namaskar karna. You can't do 108 Surya Namaskar first day. You will die. First day, one Surya Namaskar, only 4 steps. That's the Purushartha Samartha. Second day, 6 steps. Third day, one half of the Surya Namaskar is one side. Then after 5 days, you will do one Pura. That's how Purushartha Samartha increase in that. Whether it is in doing exercise or anything, कहीं भी करो, पुरुषार्थ सामर्थ्य है or it is dormant, it is latent. That has to be awakened. Once, whenever the Purushartha Samarthya awakening for sadhana question comes, immediately the mind says, no, but you are old, you'll be tired, your heart will beat this. The same mind will not say all these things when we indulge in bhoga. देखो, you know, anything excessive eaten, that is affecting your entire body system then. But do we stop it? Any unwanted eating, any excessive traveling, any excessive interaction with people, वो सब भी हमारे एनर्जी को खत्म कर रहे हैं ना. बट वहां नहीं सोचते हम. साधना के टाइम ही वी जस्टिफाई, नो नो नो, आई शुड टेक रेस्ट. हाँ, while doing sadhana we take rest, and while yoga no rest, we indulge in it. This is how we seat ourselves, get seated by our own mind. ठीक है. These are all intricacies. When we start thinking, contemplating, these are the places we are going wrong in our understandings, in our emotions, in our justifications, in our spending the times. ये सब वो बंदा जो worried है, if he converts that worry into a challenge, he will come to understand. Out of all these efforts done for long time, along with prayers to the Lord and Guru, that the clarity start coming, convictions start coming, little by little we start exactly knowing and doing what's to be done for sadhana. Once that track of sadhana we establish in properly, then you see, instead of worrying that yaar main kuch nahi kar raha hu, now the state of being is a congratulating feeling for oneself that I am doing and doing substantial sadhana substantially. That my day is spent in this way systematically. I am very clear about what's important, what's not important. These are my study hours. These are my contemplation, meditation hours. These are my upadhi repairing hours. See that? These are my prayer hours. I'm doing all of that. I don't know how the days are passing. And for a lazy fellow who sleeps like buffalo also doesn't know how the days pass. For an extroverted person, a bhogi, Doesn't know how the days pass. We are the example for that. इतने उम्र के कैसे हो गए पता ही नहीं. For a sadhaka also, he doesn't know the time how it passes. He is involved in doing those things. Like Puja Gurudev said, that famous sentence? When we wished him for his 75th birthday, Happy birthday, Puja Gurudev, all we Yuvakendra members. He replied, is it? Have I become 75? I never knew. When I started my work, I was 35. It is 75, I don't know. That's what he gave reply. So 40 years is not aware, fully involved in the work, in serving the world. Good na to listen to that. So we have to be worried about all that. Convert that worry into inspiration. Then not allowing the weakening thoughts, invoking the strengthening thoughts. You have to start doing one by one thing and master the things. And we should aim it. The next few for 3 years may I must be master of all my necessary sadhanas. And whatever the worldly achievements, worldly duties, worldly obligations, they were all done to the extent I could do at my prime time. Now Bhagavan's this sentence, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, that is inspiration to me. If anybody asks me, I will show the Lord's authority. If Lord himself questions me, I says, तुमने ही कहा सर्वधनवान परित्यज्य, मैं कर रहा हूँ फिर. अब देखो no. This is how we have to tell to our mind, our emotions, our lower thinkings, which obstruct us to do our sadhanas. This is how we are always with ourselves, with our own mind, with its own ways of living a worldly life. And we are with our intellect, which is now dull and sleepy. Usko hame uthana hai. Into that intellect, all these understandings have to come through thinking. Then, with the intellectual convictions, conquering the mind's negative impressions or influences, we have to do what we have to do. थक गए, inhale and exhale, pray to the Lord. Again do it. फिर से थक गए, inhale, exhale, pray to the Lord and do it. In that way, as we climb toward the Lord when He is on the top of mountain, थक गए, रुके, सांस लिए, फिर से 3 कदम. ऐसे ही करते हैं ना, वैष्णो देवी जाते हैं तो. Spiritual journey is like that only. And we should not stop. Charaiveti, charaiveti. Keep on moving, keep on. Nobody will tell us to go ahead, and everybody will try to pull us down. Why don't ask? It is we have to be inspired from within. We have to understand from within. We have to plan from within. It's we have to execute. Nobody is there. So, in this way, worried about the time going away, worried about still so many desires, vasanas. अरे विवेक वैराग्य ही नहीं किया मैंने अभी तक. शर्म नहीं आता. I have to look at mirror and scold myself. With all the shastras spoken or studied or listened, heard, not even proper viveka done about nitya and anitya. That's why still I am holding on to anitya only, holding on to asatya only, holding on to mithya only, holding on to those which bind me. See, holding on to the old habits, and there's no difference between me with all this shastra dhanam and the others who never studied. So if you don't think like that and worry about it, then when we will we take that initiatives consciously to mold ourselves, to change ourselves? So without this inner self effort oriented or depending transmutation, transformation, we will never change. We will continue. हाँ थोड़ा सोना क्लास इधर उधर कभी आएगा, बाकी तो वही चल रहा है. Should it be like that, or should we be a person of experiencing what is said in the Upanishads? That I am Brahman and then everything is Brahman, therefore everything is me. Isn't it? Worry converting into positive life. Isn't it? And worries about the outer world. Bhagavan said, Moksha, the what he said, Yoga Kshemam Vahami, don't worry. जो चाहिए वो जीने के लिए वो मिनिमम भगवान से कह दो, वो दे देते हैं, और जो मिला उससे तृप्त रहो. Another thing is, don't focus attention much on non-essentials, making as essentials. जीने के लिए जो चाहिए वो मिनिमम एसेंशियल है, वो मिल रहे हैं बस, वो तो एक्सेसिवली मिल रहा है. For some of us तो what's required भगवान has provided for the whole life. उसके बारे में थोड़ा भी सोचने की जरूरत नहीं. बस with little disciplined life, even the health aspect also can be managed. उतना हेल्थ चाहिए जिससे हमारा डेली साधना हो. बढ़िया. I pray that only. Bhagwan, with whatever prayers they have, and you have to give me every disease and misery, please see to it that give those pains, those dukkha, with which I can manage my classes. I do prayer. That's why class to rukta nahi. Suffering goes on, that's okay. But then there we are here. He blesses us, isn't it? The requirements, that much you give by which I'm not worried about life or survival. He gives. Those aspects gone, security and survival. Now fully focus on this. Please, I request you to be worried. and, and convert that worry Vishada into yoga. And come to that stage. I was worrying 5 years back like a person unemployed, worrying 5 years back. But then he started taking loan from some bank, started doing within 5 or 10 years, let's say 12 years. He himself is giving employment to 100 people. Now look at his state of mind. From that worry state, is it a fully happy, joyful, celebrating state? कि मैं अब इस पोजीशन में हूं. होता है कि नहीं? In the same way, we have to be from that worried state, as we said 5 minutes back. We have to come to that stage that my whole day is properly used, spiritually utilized, 100% utilized. Adarsha, Puja Gurudev. 4 or 5 hours he uses for sleep or rest. The remaining 19, 18, 20 hours fully engaged in serving the Rishi Parampara, serving the Shastras, serving the humanity. Isn't it? Just think how he must be feeling about himself with so much of the contribution done to the society. It's a fulfillment, no? हमारा भी ऐसा होना चाहिए. And it should not be a theory. And not again lazy man's way of just हाँ सब कहने को अच्छे होते हैं भाई, वो मुश्किल होता है. हाँ स्वामी जी आप कह रहे हो, आप कर रहे हो क्या? See, this is how we wrongly respond or react. बड़े बड़े लोग ही नहीं करते, मैं तो छोटा हूँ, कौन किसका हूँ. So this is how our the tiny mind, petty mind, tries to demoralize us, de-inspire us. We have to guard ourselves against that. हाँ ये सब कहने को ठीक होता है, क्लास में ठीक होते हैं, पुस्तकों में ठीक होते हैं. आजकल दुनिया बदल गई है ना. दुनिया बदल गया, अब वो वाला नहीं होता. So these are all pessimistic thoughts. Neither we should entertain them nor listen to anyone. Like you share, let us say, these thoughts with somebody. And they say, तुम्हारे बाबा को काम कुछ नहीं है, तुम पॉकेट में मिल जाते हो, इसलिए वो बोलते हैं. कुछ उनको खुद ही कह रहे हैं क्या, कर रहे हैं क्या? This is how your people question. How you say, oh, you are right here. Then all inspiration is gone. Isn't it? This is also another intelligence to maintain only the inspirational thought process, not demoralizing. ये भी एक आर्ट होता है. The world around is very demoralizing. They want us to be a bhogi like they are. It can be your own wife or husband, children. They are innocent. They don't know the value of life and value of spirituality. If we know it, then we should have the art of lovingly telling them. Isn't it? Best way is what? चलो चलो क्लास में चलो चलो you tell them. They say no मैं नहीं आऊंगी. Then you say चल मैं जा रहा हूँ फिर. ठीक है जाओ जाओ. First push them. Then they won't come. Then say तुम नहीं आ रहे तो मैं तो जा रहा हूँ. They can't say no to you in that way. Anyways, worry and convert into yoga. Thank you. Om 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 ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। विदितानमया विशदैकगलान च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विदेहि कृपां सहजां भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मा पार्वती साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन मुक्तिप्राप्ति सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वध्यात्मिकप्रगति सनातनधर्मसंस्थापकानाम् अस्माकं सर्वेषां निरन्तरदिग्विजयः। श्रीराममन्दिरवत् समस्तमन्दिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुसमूलनिर्मूलना भारतवर्षे विश्वे च वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः शाश्वतरूपेण संस्थापना विश्वे मोक्षधर्मपुरुषार्थप्रतिष्ठा अस्यां कक्षायामागतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नमध्ये कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः अद्य शङ्करभाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। पारायण करो 11, 12 दो मंत्र। ओम यो योनिं योनिमधितिष्ठत्येकः यस्मिन्निदं सञ्च विचैति सर्वं तमीशानं वरदं देवमीड्यं निचाये मां शान्तिमत्यन्तमेति। यो देवानां प्रभवश्चोद्भवश्च विश्वाधिपो रुद्रो महर्षिः हिरण्यगर्भं पश्यत जायमानं स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो। ओम 6-7 द्वासुवर्णा सयुजा सखाया समानं वृक्षं परिशस्व जाते तयोः अन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति अनश्नन् अन्यः अभिचाकशीति। समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यति अन्यम् ईशम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः। So these two are the very important mantras studied exhaustively with Bhashyam. Now in the 8th mantra also we have seen that everything is that Paramatma only, है ना, ब्रह्म की अधिष्ठान रूपता और उसके ज्ञान से कृतार्थता। इदानीं तद्विदां कृतार्थतां दर्शयति। तद्विदां कृतार्थता, knowers of the Brahman become kritakritya kritartha, fulfilled. In brackets, therefore those who do not know Brahman and know everything, do everything, achieve everything, yet they are not kritartha. And this is not a sentiment. This is not an insistence. This is not a blackmail. This is not an obligation. You know, this is the truth. That the knowers of the truth are freed from bondage, therefore, krita kritya. Those who have not known the truth are still in bondage, therefore, with all their otherwise achievements, they are non-fulfillment. They don't have fulfillment. They are not the ones with fulfillment. ठीक है? रुचो रुचो अक्षरे परमे व्योमन् यस्मिन् देवा अधिविश्वे निषेदुः यस्तं न वेद किं रुचा करिष्यति य इत्तद् विदुः te ime samasate. Okay? Ye ittat viduhu te ime samyak asate. Ye means plural. Whoever they are, ittat viduhu. Ittat means, it means in this way. Tat means that Brahman. Viduhu, no. Te, those people. Ime, those these people. Te ime means those these people. Samasate, samyak asate. They are now fully relaxed. सम्यक आसते मतलब मौजे में है, बैठ गए हैं, रिलैक्स्ड है. That's the meaning of कृतकृत्य. I reached my destination. There's nothing more to be reached. I have known now the Brahman. I am Brahman. Everything is that Brahmanubhuti. So samasate. He is just now. No need to get up and run, struggle, do something, achieve something. Samasate. है ना, वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के बाद सेलिब्रेशन ओनली, है ना, पाकिस्तान के ऊपर जीतने के बाद सेलिब्रेशन ओनली. So to knowing the self samasate. ये इत्तदिदूते इमे samasate. यह तम नवेदा. Those who don't know that Brahman, kim rucha karishyati. Rucha means third case. By those all knowledges, wisdoms which he has got. What will he do? He will become a professor, he will get claps, he will get some money, but he will not become fulfilled. Krutakrutata nahi hogi. Means with all the Siddhanta Jnana of Vedanta or Brahmanatman also, we are unfulfilled if that Brahman is not experienced. If the Vedantic Jnana itself is meaningless, what to talk about all other Ajnanam, which we call as Jnanam and gain, and all the Praptis otherwise, which we with lot of efforts and gain, which are of the nature of Mithya or unreal. अब उस पे तो बात ही नहीं. You know, in other texts, what is said as you waste time, what is said as this type of your life is Atmahatya Sadrusha. Same thing is put in different language. Kim Rucha Karishyate, with all the holy books carrying, Vedas carrying in his hands and in Almira in the head, what will he do with them if the truth is not known? Therefore, they are required to know the truth. Yatam naveda kim rucha karishyati saha. What will he do with that all the theoretical knowledge or knowledge in the books or books in the Almira? And nobody should touch those books. है ना, क्या फायदा उसका? ये है बात. Now let us do it with Bhashyam for 5 minutes. कि रुचः इति. 1. वेदत्रय वेद्ये अक्षरे परमे व्योम्नि. See, the akshara imperishable. Parama, that is supreme. Vyomni, it resembles Akasha. That Akasha resembling supreme imperishable truth, first point, is known through Vedatraya. Okay, we explain to you Vedatraya means whether it is Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda or Atharvaveda, their final thought is Brahma Tattva only. Point 1. Second, same. Even though in the initial portions they talk about karma, upasana, yajna, they are not the purposes. They are all antakarana shuddhi. Yajna dana tapa karma, natyacham karyameva tat, yajno danam tapaseva, pavanani manishi. Don't misunderstand Vedas when they tell about yajnas, upasanas for the higher worlds. No. For higher worlds, they are definitely the means. But seeking the higher world or seeking inner self is our choice. If we seek the inner world, then the same yajna become cause of antakarana shuddhi if they are done selflessly. That's what etanya karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani iti me partha nishchitam matam utu. Hira uttama nishchit mati yehe Arjun. Bhagavan says in Gita 18th chapter. So Vedatraya Vedye Akshare Parame Vyoman means Vyomni Akasha Skalpe. In that Brahman. Okay? In that Brahman, Yasmin Deva Adhivishve Nishedu. Ashrita Tishtant. In whom all the Devatas are supported. rooted, and helped by. This is what we have to little pause and understand. Now, who are devatas? In other Puranic language, nowadays we are visiting every of the lokas in our Sankshipta Skanda Purana. Today we will go to Brahaspati Loka, Mangala Loka, and Shani Loka. Yesterday we have seen the up to the Shukra Loka and all of them. Buddha, Shukra, sab ho gaye. Wonderful. After this, we will go to the Dhruva Loka. Then Sare, we are traveling with our Shiva Sharmaji, the great Bhakta, and he is taken by the Vishnu Parshadas to Vaikuntha Loka. En route, he is shown all of them and the description of each of the loka. In Pauranic Bhasha, the Devatas means they, them. In Vedanta, the Vedas means Devas, Devatas means our own Indriya Adhisthana Devatas. So, Yasmin Devaha Ashritaha Tishtanti means in that Parabrahman only, all our faculties are rooted in, established in, or supported by. Upanishad? है ना? इस चक्षुषा न पश्यति येन चक्षुंषि पश्यति. That which can't be seen by eyes, but that because of which the eyes are able to see, ears are able to listen. Isn't it? In that Brahman only, your upadhis, your indriyas are rooted. The indriya functioning causes, the adhisthana devatas are rooted. If that Brahman, the pure conscious existence is not there, where are the devatas? Those devatas at our individual level only are functioning as faculties. Right? We all know the adhisthana devatas for the karmendriyas, vak, pani, pada, payu, upastha, vacho, vahnihi, astayor, indraha, padayo, vishnu, panyor, mrityuhu, upastasya, prajapatihi. They're all. And even Aitareya Upanishad, we have seen how the Paramatma, after creating Brahmanda, then he only created all devatas and sent them into each of the upadhis. We saw that. And the Jnanendriya Adhisthana devatas, Shrotram Tatak Chakshu Rasana Grana, Shrotrasya Digdevata, Tvacho Vayuhu, Rasnayaha Varunaha, Granasya Ashvinau, Chakshushaha Suryaha. Then Antakarna, Manaso Devata Chandramaha, Buddhehe Brahaspatihi, Chittasya Vasudevaha, Ahankarasya Rudraha. These are all devatas rooted in Brahman. Now the higher Vedantic texts of the higher means that subject to teaching Vedantic texts. When we read in that Srishti Prakriya, we will see that whole thing is from that Brahman only. An idea of that is given in various Upanishads. Upanishads talk about Srishti only to that extent which is required. Upanishads Uddesha is to bring to our understanding the Brahma Tattva, not about the Srishti. Srishti and Jiva and Sadhanas are Upaya for the Vedanta. They are not the purpose. So here and there they are hinted, just like in the next 2-3 shlokas. So Yasmin Deva Ati Vishve Nisheduhu means Yasmin Akshare Vyomni Parame Devaha Indradayaha Adi Bhautika Devatas, Adhyatmika Devatas, Adi Daivika Devatas, Vishve Devaha means Sarve Devaha Nisheduhu means Ashtritaha Tishtanti. Now, very sublime thoughts, so many can be shared here. One of them is if our goal is not that Ashraya Rupi Brahman, we attend to, then these devatas will delude us by making us becoming extroverted. Means the Surya Devata in the eye will make us see the world outside. The Dig Devata of the ears will make us listen to the outer sounds. They delude us. Everywhere, if the wife is not sharp, subtle enough to catch the husband, then he will delude her. Use the money here and there. Obviously, that wife is very intelligent. She wants the account of whole salary. She doesn't want even 1 rupee by him to be wasted for his parents. She will question him. In the same way, if our goal is not Akshara Brahma, then the Devatas will delude us. Right now, that's what happening. One question, why my faculties are extroverted? One answer, because you have not made the Brahma Tattva as single pointed goal. Isn't it? Why the earlier governments never succeeded satisfactorily in developing the country? Because they never had that wholesale goal, single pointed goal that the country has to be developed. They were not the developers of nation, they were managers. Managing the status quo, putting everybody wherever they are, don't allow anybody to grow so that our power continues. Very terrible it was. Today it's growing such a rapid speed that by 2100, India will overtake even America and China in economy. Top one में बनेगा. Because the people who are ruling are having single goal. Our country should grow in all aspects. That's why, because of the purity and nobility of that goal, they are able to command all the contributors are working force towards that or remove them or change them. है कि नहीं? वो शक्ति आ जाती है अंदर से. मुझे देश डेवलप करना है, उसके लिए जो मदद करेगा हम उनको ले लेते हैं. Now you see in our main 5 ministers ruling the country, they are not proper MPs only. Our external affairs minister never stood for election. Our finance minister, she is not an MP through the Lok Sabha election. The MP through Rajya Sabha appointed. But they are Desha Bhaktas. They are capable, they are totally dedicated, they were there included. अब देखो एग्जाम्पल वहां का. यहाँ भी यस्मिन् देवा आदि विश्वे निषेध हो. If I am not focusing on that Brahman, the faculties will make me extroverted. Therefore, day in and day out to study Upanishads, I must intensify my desire to be in Brahman. Then only we can weaken these faculties from going extroverted. We can use them for our goal. Isn't it? Like in India, the opposition party, the leaders from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, or even Telangana, or even Bengal, why they can't do much to trouble the central government? Because the central government is pure in their intention. जो प्योर होते हैं अपने पॉजिटिव इंटेंशन में, स्ट्रांग होते हैं, then they can't be shaken by these dushtas. हाँ, once in a while they will trouble. Election time में they do all the funny tricks to reduce the seating sharing etc. वो नाटक तो फिर इनको भी कुछ सिखाना है ना, that if they are going wrong anywhere. But otherwise, truth triumphs means this only. Satyameva jayate. So all that ki yasmin deva adhi vishve nisheduhu ashrita tishtanti. This sentence we paused and tried to understand. So also in that Brahman, not only our adhyatmika devatas called as faculties are established, the adi bhautika devatas, जो अंदर है वही बाहर है. यदंतः तद्बाह्ये. So inside the Agni, Vayu, Varuna Devatas alone are there in the Adi Bhautika Srushti. कल परसों आया था वर्ण लोक का, यमलोक का, कुबेर लोक was yesterday discussed. So beautiful. All the devatas called Adi Bhautik. And they themselves again are there in that Swarga with Indra having meetings. They are called as Adi Daivika Devatas. So Devatas, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, who are running the individual, the outside and divine worlds shows, who are running shows, all of them are rooted in that Parabrahma. Now the point is, Yatam Paramatmanam na Veda. That Parama Supreme Self, if you and I don't know, Kim Rucha Karishyati. Then what will he do with that Rucha? Means it has lot of meanings. I am not entering into those details. Kim Rucha Karishyati means what? Such person who is not interested in wanting to know Paramatma, even if you gift him all the Vedas, Upanishads, he will put them in Almirah or in library, he won't study. That's the meaning. Isn't it like we, Whenever occasions come, people invite us for that marriage anniversary, 50 साल हो गए वगैरह. We give them good set of Gurudev's Gita books and all. But they don't want to know the truth. Kim rucha karishyati? What will they look at? Do the book. Smilingly they take, but get frustrated. Instead of that, कोई weekly magazine देने से अच्छा होता है. Their face will be like. So they just throw it to the servants. They say, चल उधर लगा दे. That meaning of Kim rucha karishyati. So in that lot of very sublime, we cannot call it as sarcasm or any of that thing. Very sublime instruction or indication Shruti Mata is giving. Even to a highly proclaiming seeker that I am seeker, if your intense goal is not Paramatma, what is the use of the Vedas with you? Means they won't be used by you properly. Therefore, first have the deep goal that I must know the truth. And for that, only those Richas, those Vedas, Upanishads you study and reach out to Paramatma. Once you reach out to Paramatma, you will know that you are all the Devatas. You are the one who is running the show of the world. You are the king now. इस तरह से इस श्लोक के वेराइटी ऑफ इंटरप्रिटेशंस हो सकते हैं, बट मेन वन इज दिस. रुचः अक्षरे परमे व्योमनि यस्मिन् देवा निषेधो विश्वे देवाः यह तम न वेद किम रुचा करिष्य. Kim Rucha also means your otherwise all worldly wisdom, all your otherwise proficiencies, efficiencies, abilities, talents, ये सब भी वेदों का ही अंग है ना. All of them put together, if they are not guiding you towards reality, what's the use of all of them? In fact, they will bind you only by taking you away from Paramatma more and more. Like if I have a car, if I'm not traveling in that to pilgrimages, to temples, to the ashramas, to the Mahatmas, what is the use of that car then? It will be taking you only to the clubs and parties and kitties and only like that. Isn't it? If you have friends with you, you are not discussing with them about the tattva and all. What is the use of those friends? They only will talk to you about the world and worldliness, that sort of thing. If you have a house to live in that house, if you have not made a proper puja room and a sadhana sthala and doing your study and sadhana, what's the use of that house? In other words, that house becomes a cause of bhoga bhumi only for you. Kim rucha karishyatako, in its expansion, in this way we have to understand the so many examples. Totally, if you yourself are not seeking Brahman, which is substratum of the world, what is the use of this world in front of you given with all facilities? At the most, they will only pull you down into the worldliness and bind. It is you who have to commit to know that Akshara Parabrahma. Underlining point is this. And this Akshara Parabrahma is what is called as Anyam. Anashtan Anyaha Vichakashiti. So that Anyam is called that. Anyam Isham is this Parabrahma. We have to aim at knowing the truth. Saramsha ye hai. Therefore, they says, Yaha ittad viduhu. The ones who know this Brahman, te ime, those people, samasate. What is samyak asate? Krutarthaha tishtant. They establish in being fulfilled in their life's mission. Krutarthaha tishtant. Now see, rishis or munis, the Shwethashwathara rishi and all subsequent and before rishis, so strongly from their experience when they say this, that such knowers of Brahman are kritartha and others just get themselves lost. We are not registering such knowledge. We are not allowing that to sink deeply inside us. We are not allowing ourselves to think, decide our lifestyle based on this wisdom, based on this goal. From this standpoint, we must understand at what gross level we are, at what level, amount of extrovertedness we are, and how much insincere we are, ashraddhalu we are. Then what do you mean by sincerity and shraddha? Hold the feet of the Guru, hold the feet of Shruti Mata, hold the feet of the Lord. Ask them, pray to them. that I want to have this Tattva Jnana Siddhanta, Tattva Jnana Sadhana, Tattva Anubhuti and Tattva Pratishtha. Ask them, and you also given facilities, make use for that purpose. ये सब करना होता है. Now the next one, इदानीं now तस्यैव अक्षरस्य, of that akshara parabrahma alone maya upadhikam, because of the upadhi of maya shakti under his control, jagat srashrutvam tan nimittatvam cha vedena darshayati. In the next sloka, that Parabrahma Paramatma only with his Maya Shakti is becoming both the Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana of this world. These are the very crucial thoughts of Vedanta to be studied thoroughly, digested. Once understood, now we are done with. At the understanding level. Then उसके अनुसार हमें परमात्मा अनुभव पाने तक उस रास्ते में चलना है. So tomorrow we will see how the Brahman only with his Maya Shakti is becoming the Nirmitta and Upadana Karana for the entire world. Therefore, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, then Sarvam Brahmamayam. This is what the standpoint from where the rishis like Manduki Rishi, Manduki Rishi or our Gaudapada Rishi or Vasishtha Rishi say that Brahman alone is there. There is nothing other than him. Never it was created. न निरोधो न चोत्पत्ति इत्यादि और न कश्चित् जायते जीवः संभवस्य न विद्यते इत्यादि highest Vedantic thoughts. So may our intellects become more purer, our hearts become more single pointed, may we give more time and energy for this Shastra Adhyanam, may we day by day become thorough in the Siddhanta Jnanam, may we translate it into practice through sadhanas, may we really experience the joy of knowing, doing, reaching. जानना, करना, पहुंचना, इन तीनों का आनंद हमको मिले. Let's continue tomorrow. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevāvashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paravrashibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Namaha. Tatsat Brahma Arpanamastu. Thank you. Can you join for Gita? हिंदी में होगा कुछ समय के लिए.